Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Monday again. It's Monday Marathon episode 41, I think. So we try and do this every week. We have skipped 1 or 2 weeks, but I go to the charity shop and pick up all their electricals because they just can't handle it. They don't want it, and they would normally take it to the transfer station as e-waste. So at the moment, well, 5 minutes ago, it was e-waste. Now it's on my bench to be hopefully saved. We'll go through it. We've got some big stuff this week, not so much little things like we had last week, so it shouldn't take us too long to get through it. The elephant in the room here is the large column oil heater. Hopefully it works. We're just out of the cold heater season now. We're into spring and it's warming up a bit. Doesn't matter. People buy these. They're great for bedrooms, and they're pretty economical to run, and they're very safe, so they're quite popular. I have a CD player. I have some kitchen appliances. I have, if that's what it is, it's a small LCD TV. So a bit of interesting stuff to test. I also found a couple of items that I purchased to flip, which I like to try and challenge myself to do. We have a little alarm clock, a wind-up alarm clock. I'll show you a bit closer soon. And quite a nice horsey-themed coffee mug. It's very modern, but it's cute, and it was, oh, I forget how much it was. $2, was it? Yeah, $2. So I think I'll get 10 from the right person for that one. So we'll check those out a little bit later. I'll reposition the camera. We'll get the bigger things off the bench first. We might just plug them in and test them straight away. And then we'll go through the smaller stuff, and hopefully we can save everything this week. The first item here to move off to make room is a electric fry pan. And it looks like it's beyond saving, actually. So we failed on our first item. I don't know if you can see that. There's actually a really dark burn mark in the finish. The Teflon itself has been scratched off. So I don't sell these when they have any issues with the Teflon because it's not safe to use them health-wise. We have had discussions in recent videos about the merits of cooking in normal plain aluminium without a Teflon coating, and apparently most of the dangers have been debunked, and it's actually quite fine. This one's loose on the base, so we're just going to scrap this entire thing just as it is, even with the base loose there, the handles, the whole lot. I'm just going to put in with irony aluminium. We get, I think, about $1 a kilo, and because it's not clean aluminium, it has plastic on it, it has steel on it, we actually get a bit of value for that, whereas if we took it all off, it would still be irony aluminium because of the element in here. We can't get the element out, and we would then have some rubbish. So we might as well let the scrapyard deal with that. So that can go straight as irony aluminium. The controller, I usually keep them, and I can easily plug this into that pan to make sure the controller works. This one looks pretty neat. I have actually sold them on eBay before, but it's just not worth my time. But they do sell. I think I got $20 for one a while back. But by the time you take your time into cleaning it up, taking photos, doing the eBay listing, then going to the post office and sending it out, and then you've got eBay fees on top of that, which they sting you a percentage of the postal cost as well. It's just not viable. I could put that in the shop for $5. Might take a while to sell it, or I could keep it here as a spare when I get a fairly good fry pan that the cord needs replacing. So we'll test it while I've got the pan here. But I'll just put that aside. I don't think I'll nominate a price. Maybe I'll put $5 on it in the shop and it can sit there in stock until I need it or until a customer wants to buy it. The lid, I don't usually keep lids because very rarely you find one of these fry pans that has a broken lid, and then it has to be exactly the same brand and model, and it's just going to fill up, take up space sitting around. I don't really even want them in the shop because I don't expect it's going to sell. Sometimes glass items from appliances, such as, I think we've got one, no we don't, but the big air fryers, the big glass bowls, I sell them as animal water bowls and they sell quite well, but a lid's really not much use. So I'm going to send that to e-waste. Even though it's not actually electrical, it's part of an electrical appliance and it can go in the e-waste bins at our transfer station. Otherwise, it's got to go in the rubbish. Now, where it goes once the e-waste gets picked up by the processors, I don't know. Maybe they have an outlet for glass. The edge of it's probably stainless steel, so there might be some value for them there. I'm not sure, but I know that I am allowed to put that in the e-waste because it was part of an appliance, and that way I don't have to put it into landfill. So that deals with that one. I think the next item, let's check this great big heater. We'll plug it in and make sure it works and we can get it off the bench. Okay, before we plug the heater in, I have just checked this temperature controller from the fry pan. It was an Anko brand fry pan. I have peeled the sticker off the bottom of the fry pan and put it on the controller so we know exactly what it suits. I was thinking of $5, but it's one of these things that if someone wants it, they'd pay $20. I checked out eBay. There was a few of them online, mostly in the States, that were selling for $20 odd, bit more, plus postage. So if you need one, that's probably a lot better than buying a new fry pan. If you don't need one, you wouldn't pay $5. You probably wouldn't even pay $1. What's the point if you don't need it? So I reckon I'm going to put it in the shop at, say, $20. And if I get a customer job that needs a new controller, because they have got a thermal fuse in them, so if that blows, I can sell them a new one for $20. If I get one in the e-waste that the controller maybe has dropped on the floor and cracked or something, I'll have a spare, and there is a chance that I'll have someone through the shop that wants one to suit an Anko, and we can get our $20. I don't expect to get that quickly. I will write it down on the notepad, but that's not going to be one of these e-waste items that I discount each week until it sells, because this is something that someone will come in the shop and ask for one day, or spot and know that they need, and we might as well get $20 for it, so that's all right. Time to check this heater. It looks okay. It's not rusty. Like, some of them go quite rusty because people hang damp towels over them to dry out. It's just a basic model with a thermostat, and it looks like 3 heat settings. Click, I think it's a cheap supermarket type brand. So we'll plug it in and see if it works. I have noticed though, it doesn't roll very well at all. In fact, it rolls worse than your average shopping trolley. The plastic casters are, that one's kinked on an angle. I think the little mounting post is supposed to be spot welded and it's broken. The other ones, one of them doesn't roll very well. So it needs a new set of wheels. But if it works fine, a little bit of a clean up, we can put it in the shop for $10. All of these wheels are pretty much the same because they just hook on here via, oh, you can't quite see from there, via just like a U-bolt. So it doesn't really matter what brand you've got. The wheels are going to be pretty much interchangeable. Sooner or later I'll get one of these that's too rusty or doesn't work, and I might have good wheels. But we'll try it in the shop for $10 if it works. So let's plug it into the appliance tester. I don't think I've ever had one of these that doesn't work. So let's power it up. First thing to check is an earth. Probably down the bottom here. We usually got to scratch some paint off these. They've got fairly thick paint on them. So we'll scratch through the paint at the bottom there. And the appliance tester says it passes. So that's good. Now what are we up to here? Thermostat, we need to turn that up. Oh yeah, the lights come on. Turn that to maximum. We're on maximum heat. It should start to warm up after a while. It will take a while. It'll warm up down the bottom first, and the oil circulates via convection. You know, the warmer oil will rise to the top. As I mentioned earlier, they're quite popular in bedrooms because they're very safe. They can't possibly start a fire, and they're pretty economical because of the thermostat. They'll just maintain a room at a certain temperature. It's not designed to heat a room up quickly because these things take quite a while to warm up, but they're good overnight. They're fairly economical, as I said, as long as you don't have the thermostat up too high. And that is starting to get warm on the bottom, so I know that works fine. Yep, I think we'll just wipe the dust off it, put it in the shop for $10, even though the wheels are a bit dodgy. And most people leave them in one spot anyway, so the wheels don't really matter. Although they are pretty heavy. If you've got to move them around, it's nice that they roll. But that's good enough to sell. So that's good. We'll wipe that down, get it off the bench. Then we've got a couple of kitchen appliances here and a CD player to check out. And the TV, so it won't take us long to get through this lot. Okay, let's have a look at this Philips CD player. It's a Sound Machine AZ100B. It looks pretty neat. It has a normal cord. Does it take batteries? Looks like it was tested here for safety back in 2018 or 2017. No batteries have been in it. That's a good thing. Geez, it takes a few batteries too. Most people use these things, just sit on top of the fridge, play some music. I'm guessing it's a radio too, or is it just a CD player? Sound Machine. Well, it looks okay. It is a radio as well. Yep. Oh, the antenna's broken off. Oh, it hasn't broken off. It's just unscrewed. Or has it broken? Yeah, it is broken. I think they well, they aren't, that little part will unscrew, but then the sleeve of the first telescopic segment presses over here and it's obviously come off. I do have a selection of antennas, and I'm pretty sure I'll have one with the center mount, and we can screw a new one on. Required for the FM radio, not so much for the AM, because the AM radio usually has a internal antenna. So, all right, as long as the CD player works, not much point fixing the antenna if we don't have a CD player. Then I guess we'll have to fix a lot, won't we? Let's power it up. It's double insulated, so there's no earth check. It's all plastic. I have a CD here, Forrest Gump, the soundtrack. It was in a CD player I found the other day. So let's see if that plays. I do have to get myself royalty-free music on disc, and Steve from Steve Electronics Repair Shop was going to do one for me. I haven't got back to him. So Steve, if that offer's still up, I'll try and send you an email. That would be awesome if you could set that up for me. Rightio. Does it automatically read when we put that down? Or I have to turn it on somewhere. Here we go, this side. Volume off, radio CD. We'll go straight to CD. It looks like it's reading the tracks. And it took a while, 16 tracks. All right, let's see if it plays. Track 1, we won't be able to play it for long, of course. It works, but it's very crackly in the volume. In fact, it's disappeared now. Is it still playing? I think it is. Why have we lost volume? Oh, it's not playing now. Okay, it searched for tracks again, maybe tipping on its side. Oh, that's playing again. And then it stops, right? So it's got an issue. Not only a crackly volume, but it stops reading, stops playing. Still says track 1. Okay, we have nothing going on. Is it disc spinning? Yeah, the disc was spinning. But it won't continue to play. All right, I might have to try and fix it. Another project. So I've just tried a different CD, did the same thing. Played for about 10 to 15 seconds, then cut out. I go to track 2, it says it's playing, we've got no noise. So it certainly has a problem. Possibly just laser reading the disc. Maybe it's just dirty. But given that we've got to fix the antenna anyway, perhaps we'll do a separate video on it. I do have to clean the volume control as well. It's quite staticky. Let's see if we have a radio. Okay, that sounds okay. It's on FM.
7 nights a week, right here.
Alright, so it sounds like the radio is going to work, but it does need an antenna. AM. Sounds like it works fine. So as a radio, it's okay. As it is, I probably still couldn't sell it as a radio because we do need an antenna on there properly. So that does need fixing, and the volume does need fixing, the crackly volume. Looks like it's not really worth anything as it is, but I'll put it into my huge pile of jobs to repair, and we'll look at that down the track because I think those things are worth spending a bit of time on. Okay, we have some kitchen appliances. This is a rice cooker, a huge rice cooker. And it's pretty clean. The bowl actually looks great. In fact, I don't think this has ever had much use. That looks exceptionally clean, so that's good. Hopefully it works fine and we should be able to sell it quickly. Why is the lid stuck in there? Is that the right lid for it? Yes, it fits there okay. And it's supposed to fit. It's a Home & Co brand. I don't think this has been used. There's every chance that it was maybe a gift or something. Yeah, it does fit in there. I think that had been squashed a bit, just being soft aluminium, and allowed the lid to go in. So yeah, that fits in there. It looks great. It's a really nice, clean unit with the instruction booklet. Home & Co, cheaper brand, probably not very expensive to buy new, but it presents pretty much as new, so we'll test this and make sure it works. Electric rice cooker, I'll have to check up online, but I think they would be available probably only for $50, $60 brand new. It's an older unit, it's been around for a little while because Home & Co became Anco, I believe. All right, we'll take that out. It's plugged into the appliance tester. We better check the earth, and we probably won't get an earth through that, will we? We've got an earth to the side, so that's good. And is it heating up? That needs to be down for it to heat. Operate a switch. And we should get some heat in the bottom when it's going. Oh, do we have to? Yeah, we have to push that button down. Yes, that's warming up fine. The light's on. So that all works brilliantly. Yeah, and it turns itself off when you lift that up. So that really barely even needs a clean. I'll just give it a quick wipe over, and we might be able to get about $20 for it. I'll check out what they are worth, but that should be a nice quick flip with minimal work, which is what we want. All right. Oh, we have got a large air fryer here. I thought I saw one. Here's our cup we bought. We'll look at that later in the clock. We'll look at that at the end of the video. We also have a modem, a Telstra modem. These are fairly modern ones, and they work very well. We've got one of these next door at our Airbnb. We'll take the plastic off it. It'll look a lot nicer. It's possible it's never been used. All right, and we have the power supply for it. We even have a phone line here. So I would assume that's going to work fine. I don't know what they're worth. I'll have to check out online to see if they sell. It should get us at least $10 or $20 for a second-hand one, even though it may never have been used with the power supply, but I'll check that out online. Now we have our air fryer, and it looks as if it's been used, but it looks pretty good. And here's the bowl I was telling you about. When I get these air fryers that are too dirty to bother fixing, or they have a fault, I sell these bowls as large dog water bowls, or even, I guess, for other animals that need plenty of water. It's almost a fish bowl. It's huge. It's 12 litres according to the booklet. So I can get $10 for those every day, or every time I put them out. They sell pretty quickly. So often when an air fryer is too dirty to muck around with, I just take the bowl and scrap the rest. That frame looks okay. The bowl sits in there well. We'll need to check to make sure the heating element and the fan work. Looks okay. It's just a little dirty. We'll have to find a cord. Oh, the cord's here. All right. And I'm not sure if this part, I guess it's like an extender. Give you a bit more height. There you go. And it's a Smith & Noble. Oh, it says it there. Not sure how expensive these were to buy. Not sure how old it is. Let's plug it in though and make sure it works. And make sure it's safe. Cord looks good. And it's on. Now I think these are probably double insulated because the control sits on top of glass. So there's no point trying to get an earth on that piece. And doesn't say double insulated. Let's see if we've got an earth under here. Yes, it does have an earth through there and it passes. So that's good. And let's see if it actually powers up. I have a timer. Is there an on-off switch somewhere? Oh, we've got to put the handle down. Okay, so there's a safety switch. You've got to have the handle down for it to work. Fan's working, the light works. I guess it's the light is the heat as well. It says heat. Thermostat works. And the timer's ticking away happily. It needs a bit of a wipe over. It's pretty grotty on the top here. Now it's stopped heating because the thermostat's turned down. There we go. So that works fine. It does need a clean up. I'm not sure I think we could probably get about $20 for that. A test safe. All right, so we need to clean that up. We'll try and get 20 for that. Has the book with it as well. And the only thing we have left is the TV now. Okay, let's see if this really is a TV in this box. It looks like it probably is. But sometimes people buy a new TV or a new monitor or something and put the old one in the box that the new one came in. All right, well, the remote's branded Vivid, so I think it is the genuine article. There's a book for it. So it's a 39 centimeter HD LED LCD TV with remote, and it looks like it can run off 12 volts. It has a cigarette lighter adapter, so it's handy for caravans and things like that. Geez, it's all put back in its original packaging. Let's hope it works. So yeah, ideal little caravan TV. It's certainly been used. It's got some marks on it. So I wonder if it actually works. It does take HDMI, which is good. And your normal AV inputs. It has two HDMI inputs, VGA as well, so it can be used as a monitor. And your component as well. So, and it runs off 12 volts. I don't actually have a 12 volt power supply with it. And I don't have a cigarette lighter to plug it into straight off, but I'll find a power supply and we'll see if it fires up. Is it a DVD as well? No. But I can plug a DVD player into it and see if it's going to work. The little 12 volt ones tend to sell well because they do get used for caravans. So yeah, we'll get a power supply and see if that one goes. Just found a power supply in my box here. It's 12 volts, 6 amps, and the TV on the back says that it takes 12 volts and requires 3 amps. So important to consider that if you're finding a power supply for something that's not the original one. Make sure it has the ability to provide the right current, because if the appliance draws more than what the power supply can deliver, you're going to blow up your power supply and it will just be a waste of resources. All right, let's plug this in. I haven't got a DVD player set up yet, but we'll just see if it powers up. It's not going to have much of a market unless it gets all the TV channels. And I noticed that it's got a date here of 2011 on the back, so it's a fairly old TV. All right, let's power that up. We have a standby light here. Hopefully the remote's got good batteries and not corroded batteries. They look good. Let's quickly see if there's a purple flash. Yes, so the batteries are okay. All right, let's turn it on. Okay, blue light. Okay, that looks like it's powered up fine. I'm sure it will work fine with the CD player. It's trying to get a channel, but I have no antenna here. But the TV looks like it works fine. I might take it inside and plug it into our house antenna. I need to get an antenna mounted on my shed so I can check these things out here. And I need to know if it gets all the channels. If it does, no signal, it's fine. If it does get all the channels, we could get probably about $50 for it, being a 12 volt one. Probably not quite, but you can probably buy new ones much cheaper than that these days. I'm not sure, but I know the 12 volt ones are popular. We'll see how we go. If it doesn't get all the channels, it's probably useful still as a monitor or for playing DVDs, that sort of stuff. But we're really going to be only talking about $10. They're pretty hard to sell if they don't get all the channels these days. All right, it works fine. We've now got a power supply for it. I'll just have to check it inside. So we just need to look at these items that we picked up to flip this week, and then we can go and look at everything on the deck. These both cost me $2 each. I grabbed the horse theme mug. It's a fairly large one, and I grabbed it because our particular area, there's a lot of horse studs, and I think the local council call the area the horse capital of Australia or something. There's a lot of racing guys around here and horse studs and that sort of stuff. It's very modern, made in China, barcode on it. Obviously never been in a dishwasher because the sticker would have come off. So I think I could probably get 10 for that given our area. And if you look up the price of these things new, very expensive for some of these coffee cups or large tea cups. The English would probably like tea in that one. It would hold a substantial amount, at least get them through for the first hour of the day. I believe the English drink a lot of tea. I like a cup of tea, but I like my coffee too. The little alarm clock here is probably a 1950s one. It is German made. In fact, it's branded under the sticker. If we can take this tool, the sticker off. It's branded Jurger or Jurger. Perhaps you don't pronounce the J. I'm not too sure. And I have to move the hand around, get you a close-up of that. I think you should be able to read that. Quite a pretty little clock. Little alarm bells at the top. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't seem to wind up. The alarm wind just keeps winding, so perhaps the spring's broken. And the clock winder feels tight. So we'll probably fix that up at some stage. Whether I film it or not is another thing. It just depends whether I live long enough to get all these projects done. But even $2 for a non-working clock, I could probably put 10 on that in the shop anyway, just purely as a cute little alarm clock, and someone else might like to try and fix it. But I'll put it with my collection here. And, you know, I've got hundreds of clocks here waiting to be done. What's another one on the shelf? You can't go wrong for $2. So we probably won't get that into the shop. It'll probably sit here in a queue for a while and just look nice on the shelf, somewhere for the dust to rest. I will take that to the shop though, and we'll put 10 on that. All right, let's go and have a look on the deck at all their goodies for this week. And here's our selection this week up on the deck. We've got a fair bit of bulk, not so many little things this week. We are not sending anything really. Oh, we are. Just the lid and the 2 plugs from the phone cord are going to Ewaste. That unit is a project, as you know. We'll do 10 on the oil column heater with the dodgy wheels. The other items up the top cleaned up very nicely. Unfortunately, the TV only gets some channels. It's just too old to get most of the new channels or the popular channels. So that's probably just going to be a $10 monitor or DVD player viewer. For a caravan, it's only saving grace as it is a 12-volt unit. If I can't sell it, I'll take my power supply back and we will scrap it, but there's only really a small board. Hopefully we can find a new owner for it. The box that it came in will be recycled. A little bit of plastic on top will have to go in the bin. This foam stuff that was at either end of it is that softer stuff, and I use that for packaging. It's actually quite handy. And the fry pan there and the cord go into my scrap piles. So really only a bit of plastic for rubbish, and only a lid and a couple of plugs to go in the e-waste. The rest of it, we should be able to rehome. The little clock, as I mentioned, will be a future project. So 2 projects out of this lot. A fair bit of stuff to sell, most of it saved. So the notepad for part 41 looks like this, $100. Obviously that fry pan controller isn't my normal quick sale price and discounted if it doesn't move. But I'm going to start building up stocks of parts that I can charge out if I get a repair job, because I'm starting to do more and more repair jobs for customers. And once I get all my sheds set up properly and a little bit more time on my hands, I do plan on advertising. Well, maybe not advertising, I'd probably never keep up. But word of mouth is getting quite a lot of repair jobs come in, which I'm enjoying doing. And I film them when I can. And I keep my prices cheap so people are happy and it stops people throwing things out. So there we go. We'll try $20 each for those things. The modem, if we don't sell, probably not much point dropping the price, because if someone wants one, a bit similar to the controller, if someone wants one, they'll happily pay that. If they don't want it, they won't pay anything. If I don't get that sort of price, maybe we'll try 10, but I might just scrap it. The TV, we should be able to get our 10 for. If I can't, I'll keep the power supply. And the air fryer too, I won't drop that much because I can get $10 for the glass bowls, as I've mentioned. Horse mug, $10. A couple of projects here for down the track in my retiring years when I run out of things to do. Cough, cough, that'll never happen. So that was episode 41. Episode 40 last week, I think I've sold the banker's lamp. Someone was supposed to come and get it and they couldn't make it over, but they messaged me and said they still want it. So hopefully that goes. I've sold both the aromatherapy diffusers. I might have to actually put the prices up on those. They always sell straight away. The chili bin sold for $20, first day out. So there we go. What else have we got going on here? Yeah. Oh, the power meter I have put away for a customer, so that should be gone as well. So pretty successful from that week. And part 39, just about everything has actually gone. I have a box full of the Bakelite plugs in the shop, so I'm never sure which one actually sells when they sell, so we don't need to really worry about that. The PC speakers, someone actually messaged me and wanted them, and they came across to the shop from a nearby town. They ended up buying some other PC speakers I had in stock for $10, so slightly bigger speakers. So I think we can basically rule this deal off. No takers in the copper jug yet, but I like it, so I don't mind if it stays in the shop for a while. So if we rule this one off, and every other episode previous to this has been ruled off, we're really flying through this electrical stock, which is exactly how I like it. I like a quick turnover. I'm happy not to try and get top dollar for things. Get it in, clean it up, flip it quickly, keep it in circulation. A few dollars for me, video for you, and less stuff in the waste stream. That's good all round, isn't it? Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.